This is Sherlock Holmes, The Mystery of the Mummy on the Nintendo DS. And I quite liked this game at first. I think maybe the reason why I liked it was because I guess it was a bit of a novelty for me, because I don't really think I've played a game like this before, but eventually, the novelty wore off and I was just kind of left with the game where you've got to do quite a lot of tedious backtracking. So I'm not really that keen on this game, to be honest. You've got to explore a mansion and stuff and find clues, solve a few puzzles here and there. And let's take a look at the manual. Not sure if there's going to be anything that interesting inside. The manual is quite nice because it's not like your standard manual. It's got like some styling to it. You can see we've got like a picture of Sherlock Holmes there and stuff. And the pages are they've been made to look old, like slightly yellowed and stuff. So there's your instructions for the controls, game screens, inventory, so you can carry things around with you. Got a notepad there, which I never used. Clues to they're more than just clues, to be honest. It did pretty much explain almost exactly what you've got to do to to progress to the next bit. And yeah, let's take a look at Sherlock Holmes on the Nintendo DS. So you play as Sherlock Holmes, and he is tasked to investigate the strange disappearance of his cousin's father. So he needs to explore his cousin's father's mansion, basically. And his mansion, it's like a real museum. It's packed with treasures brought back from Egypt, but it's full of mysteries and dangerous traps.
I should read the letter from Elizabeth again. It is obvious.
So at first, when I was playing this game, I quite liked it because I've always liked the idea of playing as Sherlock Holmes in a video game. And the environment that you're in, it looks quite appealing to me. It's like an old dusty mansion with like ancient artifacts inside. I've always liked that kind of thing. And in fact, just the way the backgrounds look in the game, it quite reminds me of Resident Evil 2. So at first I quite enjoyed it, but eventually the game just became really tedious. After I got used to kind of exploring the environment and playing as Sherlock Holmes, like the novelty, it just and I've never really played a game like that before. Eventually the novelty just kind of wore off, and I was just left with a game which just felt very tedious and a chore to play. And the reason why that is because basically the majority of the time when you're playing the game, you're just looking for things. Sometimes you can get completely stuck in the game, you can't get any further, there must be something you've missed somewhere, there's some item that you need to pick up which will enable you to progress to the next area in the game. It might be a key, or it could be anything really. So then you've got to go back and just search around every single room that you've already looked in, every single corridor that you've already looked in, and you've got to go over each room with a fine-tooth comb. You've got to look in every nook and cranny to try and find that mysterious tiny object that you need to be able to progress further. So it's just really tedious and just a chore to play. So you use the bottom screen to explore the mansion and to pick up objects and whatever. The top screen, that shows your inventory. And to get access to the inventory, you need to press the L button. That will swap both screens, and now you can use a stylus to take objects out of the inventory or to do other things. And also there's a sidebar next to your inventory where you can choose other things. There's a notepad where you can kind of scribble notes down. I've never had to use that myself, and you can actually save them as well. You can view your documents, so like letters and stuff that you've picked up, you can read them. And there's also a help system, and this will just basically give you clues so you know what you need to do next to progress through the game. But they're basically more than clues, because it pretty much explains almost exactly what you have to do to progress to the next part.
It must be an extract from the Book of the Dead.
So yeah, the game can be quite challenging. I mean, the majority of the time you're just kind of going from A to B. You know, you find a key or whatever, you pick it up, then you can unlock a door somewhere. It's quite straightforward like that. But occasionally there are some puzzles, and you know they can be fairly challenging. The main difficulty about the game, though, you know, where I will get absolutely stuck, is basically knowing that I need to find an object to be able to progress further in the game, but I just can't find it anywhere. And I'll try for ages, and like I said before, you know, I'll be having to kind of backtrack and look everywhere, and it's just very tedious and boring, and eventually I'll just give up and end up looking at the clues.
Again, a room full of Egyptian relics. Does Lord Moncat have a big collection?
So, really, the only thing that I like about the game is just the fact that you're playing as Sherlock Holmes, and I really like the environment, you know, the old dusty mansion. I like stuff like that. The graphics, they're not that great, really, for the DS. They're kind of grainy. The music is okay, I guess it suits the game. And an interesting thing that I've noticed about the game is that when Sherlock Holmes talks, he doesn't say the exact same thing that's being said in the subtitles. Like some words will be different in the subtitles. What's said in the subtitles will mean pretty much the same thing as what Sherlock Holmes is saying, but it's like there's just slight differences, like different word use and whatever. So that's kind of a bit odd. But yeah, overall, you know, I don't really like the game, to be honest. I can't see myself ever playing it again. I will actually put this game onto eBay and sell it. It's just, you know, it's just too tedious, to be honest. I just find it a chore to play. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Thanks for watching.
Mummy inside.